I think if you're an LGBTQ plus person and you're studying at university, I think it's really imperative that you find a community. So you find a community of other queer people who understand your experiences. I think that you should also connect with other organisations, LGBTQ plus organisations that can support you transition out of university, because obviously now you're living in a home and in a house outside a family home, and navigating queerness within your family home is very different to navigating it when you're in your own space. So look into charities like AKT who can support you with moving out and bring you into like a safe environment as well. So as a student, I was actually still straight. So I wasn't queer. I had no idea around anything, what it meant to be LGBTQ+. I didn't really understand. I think where representation of LGBTQ+ people is still very white. So for me as a black person, I don't see myself in anyone that they see, you might see on TV or in the media. So it wasn't even something that I actually explored. I literally was only on my first job outside of university that I started exploring my sexuality and obviously realized and understood that I was queer. So yeah, I think if I got involved in more societies whilst I was at university, I may have figured it out sooner. It's what it is, I'm exploring it now and that's what that matters. When you're queer and you understand your queerness, it's a really, really hard time. I think mentally it takes a toll, especially when you come out, for example. I think that for me was one of the hardest experiences that I went through in terms of having to justify why it is that why I'm bi, why I'm queer, etc. to my family, and having to consistently be like, oh, I'm this because of X, Y, Z and all these things. And you kind of suddenly, the moment you come out, it's like you suddenly are prioritizing other people's feelings over your own. So you have to deal with your family and being like, oh, this has made us feel this X, Y, Z way. And then you start negating your own mental health and emotional well-being to comfort them because they can't understand or don't want to understand your sexuality or gender identity. So I think that it is hard, but I think also there's so much joy in it, and that comes from finding other LGBTQ+ people that you can be with, that you can surround yourself with. So people that just get it without having to explain it. And that's why I said also, getting involved in LGBTQ+ societies, going to organisations, going on nights out where you can actually meet other queer people that you can relate to, because those relationships are really, really important and they will help kind of offset maybe some of the more negative experiences you might have with friends or family. I think just in general, if you're struggling with mental health, you have to find an outlet and some form of positive outlet that allows you to kind of take control. For me, routine and having stability is really important for my mental health. I feel like when I've got that, I feel like, okay, cool. I know I go in the gym in the morning, I know I'll spend X amount of time, doing my emails. And I know, and I'll go to, I'll cook. Cooking a food actually is such a really, really important thing. I think often we negate the fact that ordering delivery, Uber Eats, whatever it may be, every day is not good for your body, it's not good for your health. And I think we don't often kind of realize the mental impact the food that we eat has on our bodies and our minds. So it's like really taking into account of that. I think that, find something that takes you away from university life. You can't, no matter what you say, you can't keep your head in the books 24/7, nor can you go out partying 24/7. So you have to find a balance. And whether that's going to the gym, whether that's painting, whether that is going for a run, walking to the park, going to a museum, find something that brings you joy that has no relation to university or work. And I think that's really important for managing your mental health.